Greetings, everyone. To kick off the 2025 Iowa Department of Corrections Employee Recognition Ceremony, we ask that you please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Iowa DOC Honor Guard, accompanied by bagpiper Greg Francisco of the 6th District, and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem performed by Will Clemens from the 5th District.
Dictate. Halt. They fight. Present. Go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Post. Post. Present. Order. Ready. Face. Forward. Whoa.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I believe you can be seated now. Welcome to the 2025 Iowa Department of Corrections Employee Recognition Ceremony. My name is Marcy Stroud, and I'm the warden at the Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility.
My name is Dan Fell. I am the district director in the 8th district, and we are honored today to have the opportunity to serve as joint masters of ceremonies for this very special occasion. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, the Honorable Justice Susan Christensen from the Iowa Supreme Court. Chief Justice Christensen was appointed to the Iowa Supreme Court in 2018, and the members of the Supreme Court selected her as Chief Justice in February of 2020. Chief Justice Christensen was born and raised in Harlan, Iowa. After earning her bachelor's degree from Judson College in 1988, she earned her law degree from Creighton University School of Law in 1991. Prior to her appointment to the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Christensen was appointed a District Associate Judge in 2007 and a District Court Judge in 2015. Before becoming a judge, she practiced law in Harlan for 16 years. Chief Justice Christensen chaired the Children's Justice State Council and the Family First Task Force, and served on the Supreme Court's Family Law Pro Se Forms Committee, Child Support Guidelines Review Committee, Parents Representation Standards Committee, and Guardianship Conservatorship Task Force, as well as the Children's Mental Health and Well-Being Advisory Committee. She is a member of the Iowa Judges Association, the Iowa State Bar Association, the Southwest Iowa Bar Association, and the Shelby County Bar Association. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Chief Justice Susan Christensen.
Thank you very much for that warm welcome. It's fun to be in this building. My daughter got married here back in 18. There was a lot of fun stuff going on in this room back then, and this is a much more serious crowd. It's a privilege to be here today and be invited to speak at the Department of Corrections recognition ceremony for employee recognition. It's the first time I've ever spoken to this group, and on the way up here, by the way, I want to point out I've got Hannah with me, who's my right hand in Des Moines at my office, and I've got some security with me too, Dennis, who's very familiar with Polk County people. Thank you for being here for me, both of you. And I was explaining to Hannah on the way up here the difference between Department of Corrections and then juvenile probation officers, one's with the judicial branch, one's with the executive branch. blah, blah, blah. And it's been a long time, and I got to thinking of my memories, so I got to do a shout out. Is there anybody here from the 4th? There's my people. Thank you. Hi, guys. Yes, I knew there'd be a lot of people. I thought surely some of them are still working, or have they all retired that I know. So thanks for being here. I'm from the 4th. So for about 16 years, I worked as a prosecutor and a family law lawyer. And of course, my work as a prosecutor involved starting to know about the Department of Corrections. And then for the next 12 years or so, then I was either a juvenile court judge or a district court judge. And that's where I really got to know about the work of the Department of Corrections. And most recently in my role in the Supreme Court, I'm not in the trenches anymore. And believe you me, I miss it. I miss it every single day. So actually being invited to something like this makes me feel like I'm a little bit back home. But in my role as prosecutor and then later as a trial court judge, I worked closely with the Department of Corrections. I read many, many, many probation reports. I made recommendations sometimes like, please don't do like the law enforcement and do everything's capitalized and yelling at me and one sentence and 7 paragraphs all rushed together. You guys had very nice reports. I appreciated that very much. I never minded reading your reports. Parole reports as well. And most importantly, the steady presence of those people sitting over there from the 4th in the courtroom when they needed to be, when important decisions needed to be made, that I had a pretty good idea legally what was going on. But the behind the scenes work and what would be happening at the next stage of the game, I 100% relied on the Department of Corrections to help me make a good decision as a judge. I respect your work, and I am proud to have worked side by side with many of you, if not you personally, someone in the capacity of what you did somewhere across the state. So since I had a shout out for the 4th, Director Skinner told me that you guys are in the same districts as us. Is that true? If you're from the 1st, raise your hand. 2nd. 3rd. Seriously, all by yourself? Are you the only guy? Wow. 4th, we did. We'll do 4th again because that is my favorite. 5th. I always want you guys. 6th. 7th. And 8th. Okay, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, how about statewide level? Are you something statewide, maybe no particular district? Well, whose glasses he there, but I'm moving them. The reason I do that is I go to, I try to figure out who is my audience. And now as chief of the Iowa Supreme Court, I can't play favorites anymore. I'll say it out loud till the cows come home. They are my favorite. But as chief, I must treat everyone the same. I can no longer give priority to the 4th. Just in my comments, that's it. So everyone in this room, every single one of us has chosen public service in our state government. And that choice is not about recognition. It is certainly not about wealth. It's about answering a call to do work that truly matters. It means committing yourself day after day, even when it's hard, even when it's not glamorous, and even when people are not appearing to even notice what you're doing. That commitment to doing what's right for the people of Iowa is what defines us as public servants, whether it be in the executive branch or the judicial branch. As a trial court judge in the 4th District, I presided in 9 different counties, and during that time, men and women from different ages, different races, they appeared before me on charges of sex abuse, murder, you name it, they were in front of me. No way can I begin to remember a fraction of those individuals who appeared before me by name or face. But you, the Department of Corrections, helps me on that. This seems like the perfect time for me to give a shout out and a thank you to the Department of Corrections. Dr. Skinner will know for sure who actually gets the thank you, but I'll let you all accept it. That I receive, every time I receive an email from the Department of Corrections, which I still do, I'm a former trial court judge. These are routine emails. I used to get more. I'm getting them less frequently because I've been away from the trial court for 8 years. But as a sentencing judge, I would be informed by the Department of Corrections when someone's getting released. Not just anyone, but somebody that I sentenced. They've had a lot of time to think about it. And on behalf of all Iowa judges, don't stop doing that. That is an incredibly important service for us. The very first notice that I received while I was on the Supreme Court actually did not come from anyone in the Department of Corrections. It came from it was an email from a judge, I believe, out of the 8th. And if anybody's here from the 8th, you're going to maybe perhaps know who I'm talking about. The subject line of the email read, Justice Christensen to be released from prison. And what the hell? And then come to find out there's some dude named Justice, last name Christensen, who has made some bad choices. That is not the headline I want to read as the newest justice on the Supreme Court. That was the first time I received one of those things. But like I said, it wasn't from you, but it was that judge's notice of someone. He thought it was funny, and he sent it to me. I still get those release notifications. They tell me the name of the individual, the county, the offense, the date of conviction, the anticipated date of release, and most importantly, a current photo. All of that stuff above it, normally, no, can't remember. But I see that photo, and sometimes I do have a memory of what was going on. And like I said, I've been out 8 years now. So if somebody has served at least 8 years, that means a higher level offense. It takes a lot. I always say, yay, you, to go to the pen. It's not easy to actually get there and not get suspended or to stay for an 8+ years term. So sometimes, like I said, I have little recollection of the case, and other times I get a shiver down my spine. What I find meaningful about those notices is how they bring our work as public servants full circle. At sentencing, I would sign an order committing someone to the Department of Corrections. I always thought it was funny, to the custody of the reception center at Oakdale. It sounds like a really nice place where you could get a massage or something. The reception center, yeah. So anyway, I would hand them off to the Department of Corrections. Years later, sometimes months, but oftentimes years later, after mental health care, substance abuse treatment, perhaps some educational or vocational opportunities, and then reentry planning, you, the Department of Corrections, lets me know that you are ready to hand that person back to the community. Those release notifications are more than just safety precautions for me. They're also a reminder that our jobs as public servants in government are linked together. My work may conclude at sentencing, but your work carries it forward in a way that matters for individuals, families, and communities across our state. The judiciary is often defined by trials and sentencing, and likewise, Department of Corrections is defined by things like supervision and release planning. But outside of our institutions, whether it be judicial or executive, people measure us by something else. They measure us by how we show up, how we contribute, and how we lead. Not just inside prison walls or courtrooms, but in our neighborhoods, our schools, and our communities. I learned that lesson early. Within a couple weeks of getting out of law school and passing the bar, I was asked to become a member of the Shelby County Nursing Advisory Board. For those of you who don't know where Shelby County is, I always say it's not far from Omaha. I mean, it's a small county. Harlan is my hometown. So anyway, the Shelby County Nursing Advisory Board asked me to sit on it. You heard right. The nursing profession reached out to me. Were they concerned with my utter lack of background, not to mention interest in the medical profession? Not at all. They wanted a lawyer sitting around the table. I was flattered to be asked, and I immediately said yes. Of course, Shelby County had no major impact on nursing in 1991 when that happened, at least nothing that was my idea. But on my resume, it is mentioned as my first step that I took as a baby lawyer toward public service outside the courtroom. And that first step inevitably led to more. Over the years, I tried to do my part back home. I served more than a decade on our local school board. I stepped down as president when I became a judge. I led our local chamber of commerce and chaired our economic development for Shelby County. On a more personal level, I play piano, and I played piano for my church and a women's group called Sweet Inspiration. And those things kept me grounded in a way that a courtroom could never do. I know many of you guys also do some kind of quiet service. People in your community know that you work for the Department of Corrections, and they also want you sitting around the table, serving on the school board, maybe coaching a little league team or helping at a food pantry. These are all things that we can do, and they get a chance to see you in action and provide that same dedication on display in another setting, not just your job. It shows them that your commitment isn't just part of the job, it's who you are. When I interviewed for the Iowa Supreme Court back in 18, I framed my remarks around a tapestry. And I've said this more than once, I own it. I love Carole King, and she had an album called Tapestry. And I liked it not just because it was a catchy metaphor for my judicial ambitions, but I also believe that life's experiences are like a tapestry. There's threads of different colors, strengths, and directions, all woven together to make something stronger. Our careers in public service are like that tapestry. There's a sentencing decision, a case plan, cognitive behavior group, maybe somebody shifts, volunteers for a shift at a shelter, a school board vote, whatever it may be. Each may seem small on its own, but when woven together, this tapestry becomes something resilient and lasting for the people of Iowa. And this is a true measure of public service. So here's my challenge to all of you. Show up in your work. Show up in your community. And show up in your life. Just keep showing up. Each time you do that, in the hard moments at work or in the quiet acts of service in your community, you are strengthening our state and you are reinforcing the public's trust in government. You're in government and so am I. Not just during a work day, but when we're home, we can be ambassadors of that public servant too. Just keep showing up. The people we serve may not remember every ruling that I made or supervision plan that you may have designed, but they will remember that someone was steady, someone cared, and someone kept showing up. In the end, I believe this is what strengthens justice, and this is what builds trust, and that's what leaves Iowa stronger than any of us had found it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice Christensen, for speaking with us today. Let's give another round of applause for the Chief Justice. Okay, at this time, it's my pleasure to welcome the Director of the Iowa Department of Corrections, Dr. Beth Skinner. Dr. Skinner has served as the Director of the Iowa DOC since 2019, bringing over 2 decades of experience in criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health. With a PhD in social work from the University of Iowa, Dr. Skinner has focused her career on implementing evidence-based practices, reducing recidivism, and improving reentry outcomes for justice-involved individuals. Please welcome our Director, Dr. Beth Skinner.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Justice Christensen, for being here with us today. We are honored to be here, and thank you for being our keynote. Appreciate that. So it's been about a year since I stood up in front of you guys during a award ceremony. If you guys can recall vaguely, the last time I was up here, I had a black eye. So I wanted to be really consistent for you guys. So I'm up here with a broken ankle today. So next year might be a treat. We don't know what limb I might break, but just so you know, I'm consistent with these award ceremonies. But it's great to see everyone here today. Love to see so many people here. This is fantastic, and just a special time for us. And I'm truly, truly honored to be standing here in front of you all today. And I really want to pause and recognize the staff, our awards committee. I'm not sure where they are. Can you raise your hands? Thank you guys for all your work. Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to put this together. I also want to thank staff, family, and friends for being here today as well. Because we know our friends and our family are very important supports for us as we work in these challenging jobs. Days like today remind me to take a step back from our daily demands and our work to reflect on the bigger picture, on the values that guide us, on the people who bring those values, you are the people that bring those values to life. Over the past few years, we have faced some of the most complex and rapidly changing challenges in our system. Those challenges we've grown, not just in how we work, but in how we lead, how we support each other, and how we live out our culture at the Department of Corrections. At the heart of that culture are 5 pillars: and I think most of you have heard these pillars because we have training on them and workshops. It's on professional development, trust, innovation, courage, and flexibility. These are our foundation for our work. Professional development means more than checking boxes and attending trainings. It's about building people, helping every member of our team grow into their full potential. I have seen staff step into leadership roles, mentor roles, new hires, and take ownership of their careers. That's the kind of growth that strengthens an agency from the inside out. Trust, another pillar, is essential in work we do. It's not something we can mandate. It's something we earn every day through consistency, respect, and integrity. Whether it's trust between staff members, between leadership and teams, or the people that are in our custody, trust is the glue that holds everything in this department together. Innovation is what drives us forward. It's how we improve safety, enhance programs, and solve problems in smarter ways. Innovation doesn't mean big, flashy changes. It can be as simple as asking, how can I do this better? How can I improve the process? And every time you ask that question, you push this department forward. Courage is present in all that we do here. In our line of work, courage is not just physical bravery. It's about standing up for what is right and having difficult conversations, showing up when it's really tough, and leading by example. It's the quiet, steady, and powerful, and is everywhere in this department as I look across this room. And then there's flexibility, another one of our pillars. The ability to adapt, the ability to stay focused in the face of change, and to keep moving forward in that path, even though it's not always clear for us, not always linear when we implement things, but you have demonstrated time and time again, and it's one of the reasons this agency continues to grow stronger. The 5 pillars aren't just words on a piece of paper. They are the standards we hold ourselves to in this department, and they are visible every single day. And how you carry yourselves, how you treat one another, and how you serve Iowans. To those being recognized today, congratulations. Your courage, your commitment, your attitude, and your leadership have not gone unnoticed. You're not just doing your job, you're making an impact. And to all IDOC staff, whether you're working in the facility, you're working in the field, or in administration, or behind the scenes, thank you. You're doing an amazing job and you're making such an impact in Iowa. Let's continue to build this foundation together. Let's keep developing ourselves, earning trust, welcoming new ideas, leading with courage, and staying flexible for whatever lies ahead of us in the future. Thank you for your service, your dedication, and your belief in what we do. Congratulations.
Promulgated in 2023, Iowa Department of Corrections policy established an employee recognition program to celebrate the contributions of all DOC employees and volunteers throughout the correction system in Iowa on an annual basis. The DOC acknowledges that employees are its ultimate asset in a field that demands significant dedication and sacrifice from its employees. The DOC recognizes that leadership does not reside in a position, but is found in a mindset and a commitment that is valued by all employees. Correctional leadership is a process that is cultivated by the conviction that corrections is a profession and that its employees are the lifeblood of the organization. As a result of the alignment, all elements of the DOC are represented here today for this employee recognition ceremony. A committee of DOC staff members from each of the districts, institutions, Iowa Prison Industries, and central office worked for several months to plan this event. I would ask the members of the committee to please stand at this time as we thank you for your efforts planning this program.
Committee members, please stand.
At this time, I would like to invite Director Skinner, Deputy Director of Community-Based Corrections Sally Kramer, and Chief of Staff Paul Cornelius to join us center stage as we will now begin the presentation of awards.
Okay, our first award category today is the Life Saving Measures Award. This award is presented to those within the Department of Corrections who are involved in an emergency situation and their actions directly contributed to saving or prolonging human life, regardless of relation to duty. Their quick reaction and willingness to help others in their time of need is to be commended. It brings great credit upon themselves and our department. There are 201 staff from across the state being recognized for this award today. Isn't that amazing? And each one of them deserves our full recognition. However, we don't want to be here until 7 p.m. So we have a plan in place to orchestrate this award process. My fellow leadership representatives will be reading the names for each location up here on stage. And we ask that those receiving the award come and follow their representative to be recognized. For those of you in the audience, we ask that you hold your applause until all the names from all the locations have been read. And we will start with my friend Denise.
Good afternoon. My name is Denise Cooper. I am the district director in the first district. And thank you, Sally. It is my pleasure to announce the honorees for the life-saving measures in the first district. Chris Bosker, Chris Pagel, Shayna Williams, thank you, and Yvonne Kleppe.
Hello, my name is Amanda Milligan, the director of the second district, and it is my pleasure to announce the honorees of the Life Saving Measure Award of the second district. Christine Day, Mac Schweifert, Silma Diaz Valentin,
Hi, I'm Carly Millsap, Assistant Director of the 5th District. Congratulations to our district's awards recipients, Diana Lang, William Clemens, and Matthew Blagg.
Hello, my name is Drew Kunacek, the Assistant Director of the 6th District, and it is my pleasure to announce the honorees of the Life Saving Measures Awards from the 6th District. Justin Wheatley, Laney Smith, and Lucas Way.
Hello, my name is Rob Metzger, Director for 7th District. It is my pleasure to announce the honoree of the Life Saving Measures Award for 7th District, Stevens Critchfield.
Hi, I'm Dan Fell again, and I'm the Director of the 8th District. I'm pleased to announce the honorees of the life-saving measures from the 8th District are Chuck Severs, Colby Chris, and Nikki Harbison.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Foster. I'm the warden of the Anamosa State Penitentiary, and it is my honor to announce the honorees of the Life Saving Measures Awards from ASP. Alexa Rauterbush, Anthony Dawson, Atticus Jurgensen, Brock Bickford, Chris Shover, Cole Bamrick, Connor Yeasley, Levi Kozlowski. Next, we have Officer Nathan Chemlin. But today we have a special guest accepting his award. Mr. Chemlin has been deployed to Syria for a year with the Iowa National Guard. On his behalf, his wife, Holly Ann, and son, Davey, are here to accept his award. And Tracy Deach.
Hi, my name is Don Harris. I'm the warden at the Fort Dodge Correctional Facility. It's my pleasure to announce the honorees of the Life Saving Measures Award from Fort Dodge. Angel Jimenez. Denise Schultz. Yeah. James Crouch. Joe Potratz. Chris Peters. Leonard Peterson. Matthew Sheen. Nate Culberson. Randall Bunting. Tad Larson. Tyler Moodhart. And Wayne Oatman.
Good afternoon. My name is Donella Miller. I am the training specialist at the Iowa Correctional Institute for Women, and it is my pleasure to announce the honorees of our life-saving awards from ICIW. We have Dan Jasper, Steele Harder, and Susan Ham.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Heinersey. I'm the warden at the Iowa Medical and Classification Center, and it's my pleasure to announce the honorees of the Life Saving Measure Award from IMCC. Adam Greener, Ben Case, Brandon Hudson, Colton Robeson, Doug Becker, Garrett Barker, Jason Kirk, Jordan Jenny, and Skylar Hogue.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Foreman, Warden at Iowa State Penitentiary, and it's my pleasure to announce the honorees of the Life Saving Measures Award from ISP. First up, Austin Howell. Brad Booten. And William Rutledge.
Hello, my name is Adam Yetmar. I'm the warden at Newton Correctional Facility, and it is my honor to recognize the staff from Newton Correctional Facility for life-saving measures. Ashley Lust. Brian Pfeiffer. Cody Jordan. Ernest Galbraith. Joshua Mayhew. Scott Hoffman. Sheldon Wilson. Tia Tuttle. Zachary Reeves. Zachary Zutenhorst.
Don Harrison, Warden at the North Central Correctional Facility. It's my pleasure to announce the honorees, Life Saving Measures Award. Avery Burchard. Callie Babcock. Janelle Heiners. Jonathan Quayle. Josh McNeil. Randy McPherson. Yeah. Regina Ray. Wade Hammond. Done, boss. I think you're done.
Thank you to those who received this very important award today. Your commitment to excellence in taking action when faced with life-saving situations exemplifies the highest standards of our profession. It is clear from the number of staff who have participated in these critical events that our work is not only challenging, but very demanding. Each day, our team faces situations that require quick thinking, compassion, and skill. The Department of Corrections is profoundly grateful to each of you for rising to these challenges with steadfast determination. Your actions not only saved lives, but have inspired us all to strive to be the best in our own roles. Together, we form a resilient and compassionate team that makes a significant difference in the lives of those we serve. Once again, congratulations to all of you who are receiving our life-saving awards. Let's give them another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award is the Courage and Honor Award. This award is presented to recognize the incredible courage and sacrifices made by our staff. It may also honor the families who have lost their lives in the line of duty, as well as honoring staff members who have sustained critical injuries. We also present this award to individuals who have performed acts of great courage and valor in the face of grave danger. This year, we have two recipients of this esteemed award. Our first recipient is from the Iowa State Penitentiary. In September of 2024, an incarcerated individual in possession of a makeshift knife attempted to assault a new staff member. Seeing this, Correctional Officer Jake Jackson stepped directly in the line of danger to subdue the individual. While doing so, Correctional Officer Jackson sustained several puncture wounds to his own person, but he successfully disarmed and restrained the incarcerated individual. His selfless actions were truly heroic. Please join me in recognizing Correctional Officer Jake Jackson for bravery as a recipient of the Courage and Honor Award. And on his behalf, Danny Adams is here to accept his award. Our second recipient of the Courage and Honor Award is from the Iowa Medical and Classification Center. In June of 2024, Correctional Officer Susan Carruthers was seriously assaulted by an incarcerated individual living in a mental health unit where she serves as a primary officer. Correctional Officer Carruthers bravely handled this traumatic incident and continues to work with the same population, undeterred by the challenges she has faced. Her resilience and dedication are truly inspiring. Please join me in recognizing Correctional Officer Susan Carruthers for her bravery as a recipient of the Courage and Honor Award.
Our next award is the Meritorious Service Award. This award is presented to the family of a staff person who has lost their life while performing an act of heroism while off duty, to a staff that sustained critical injury while performing an act of heroism while off duty, or to a staff that performed an act of heroism while off duty. We are grateful to have no one receiving this award this year to either loss of life or injury. However, we do have a staff member who qualified by performing an act of heroism while off duty. This year's award for meritorious service is being presented to Terry Brownell from the Anamosa State Penitentiary. Terry Brownell selflessly went out into blizzard-like conditions after dark to rescue stranded motorists on Highway 64 in Jones County with his snowmobile and got them to a safe and warm place for the night. Terry also supplied the motorists with warm clothing for the ride. The world needs more Good Samaritans like Terry. Please join me in thanking Terry for his selfless actions and in congratulating him for receiving the Meritorious Service Award. Terry, please step forward and accept your award. Next up, we have the Volunteer of the Year Award. The Volunteer of the Year Award is given to a person or organization that has donated their time and efforts to the correctional population or who has demonstrated outstanding service to the Department of Corrections. We are proud to present this year's award to St. Vincent de Paul of Des Moines from the 5th District. St. Vincent de Paul of Des Moines, Randy Radosevich, Joe Esposito, and SVDP Reentry Team meet physical needs, support services, and referral needs of clients coming out of incarceration. They visit our district in person to inform us of available services and resources for clients. With us today from St. Vincent de Paul of Des Moines are Randy Radosevich and Jim Wakutta. Please join me in thanking St. Vincent de Paul of Des Moines for their unwavering support of this department and in congratulating them for being recognized as this year's Volunteer of the Year organization. Please step forward to receive your award.
For the remaining award presentations, we want to take a moment to recognize each staff member who was selected locally by their district, institution, central office, or Iowa Prison Industries as the nominees that were put forth for each of these awards. For those nominees in attendance today, we ask that you stand when your name is read and remain standing so that you may be recognized. We ask the audience to please hold your applause until all the names of our nominees have been read. We will then present the awards to the statewide recipient. First up, we have the Excellence in Safety Award. This award is presented to an individual or team who has made significant improvements in workplace safety or significantly reduced the events of workplace accidents. The nominees for Excellence in Safety Award are 3rd District, Tyler Griffin. Fort Dodge Correctional Facility, Tim Duffy. Iowa Correctional Institution for Women, Josh Scholey. 0 for 3. Anamosa State Penitentiary, Keith Paulson. The fix was in. This year's award for Excellence in Safety is presented to Keith Paulson from Anamosa State Penitentiary. Please, Keith, please come forward and careful on the steps. Keith is continuously gaining knowledge and attending training to improve the prison industry shops across the state and to help provide a safe working environment for both incarcerated individuals and staff. He is working towards becoming an OSHA 10 instructor, which will assist in preparing incarcerated individuals to join the workforce when they are released. Keith's drive, motivation, and knowledge continues to improve all of our operations across the state. Please join me in thanking Keith for his dedication to safety and congratulating him for receiving the Excellence in Safety Award.
Next award is the Humanitarian of the Year Award. This award is presented to a staff member that has enhanced the quality of life for the citizens of Iowa through acts of kindness and generosity. Recipients of this award may qualify regardless of the relation to duty. The nominees for Humanitarian of the Year are the 6th District, Lindsay Sabelka, Anamosa State Penitentiary, Mark Clark, Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility, Dina Pranito, and North Central Correctional Facility, Jason Butler. This year's Humanitarian of the Year Award is being presented to Dina Pranito from the Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility. Visionary, Dina Pranito orchestrated the amazing success of the Feed My Starving Children mobile event held at Mount Pleasant last December. Dina's belief in the best of people led to organizing a combined correctional team of staff and incarcerated individuals to pack meals to feed 298 starving children for a year. Please join me in thanking Dina for her dedication to others and in congratulating her for receiving this year's Humanitarian of the Year Award. Dina, please step forward to accept the award. Next up, we have the Special Recognition Award. This award is presented to a staff person that has earned recognition for specific accomplishments, regardless of relation to duty, which does not qualify them for the previously mentioned awards. Personal accomplishments, such as the completion of an educational degree, are considered as part of an acceptable nomination. Other accomplishments, such as ideas implemented and used in an institution, in a district, or statewide, can be considered in the nomination process. The nominations for the Special Recognition Award are 2nd District, Amy Landers Kearney, 6th District, Angelica Adelaide, 8th District, Dakota Simmons and Stacy Oden, Iowa Correctional Institute for Women, Corey Schaefer and Brent Sodders, Iowa Medical and Classification Center, Bree Unkridge, Anamosa State Penitentiary, Chad Bildstein, Newton Correctional Facility, Jessica Kober, and we have 2 from Central Office, Dawn Hansen and Jen Rafchi. This year, the award for special recognition is presented to Dawn Hansen from Central Office. Dawn is a dedicated leader whose impact on agency culture, operations, and staff well-being is lasting and meaningful. She leads with empathy and integrity, earning the trust of colleagues across all levels. Dawn has advanced lean initiatives, promoted wellness statewide, and as a change champion, amplified staff voices. Her collaborative approach and commitment to supportive workplace reflect her deep devotion to the values and goals of the agency. Please join me in thanking Dawn for her tireless dedication to the mission of this department and in congratulating her for receiving this year's Special Recognition Award. Dawn, please accept your award.
The next award is the Agency Employee of the Year. Before we present this year's statewide award, let us take a moment to recognize each institution, district, and central office staff member who was selected locally this past year as an Employee of the Year. These individuals were selected based on the following criteria: contribution to the agency's vision and mission, professionalism, leadership skills, and respect for fellow staff, incarcerated individuals, clients, volunteers, guests, and the public. The nominees from around the state are: 1st District, John Fells; 2nd District, Tanette Carlson; 3rd District, Keith Iverson; 4th District, Angie Larson; 5th District, Courtney Dolash; 6th District, Jody Anderson; 7th District, Sarah Wilkinson; 8th District, Stacy Van Antwerp; Anamosa State Penitentiary, Jesselyn Bader; Florinda Correctional Facility, Dusty Cedarberg; Fort Dodge Correctional Facility, Ashley McCullough; Iowa Correctional Institution for Women, Danielle Tallarico; Iowa Medical and Classification Center, Shane Hartman; Iowa State Penitentiary, Danny Adams; Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility, Charles Allen; Newton Correctional Facility, Jody Rollins; North Central Correctional Facility, Haley Simpson; Central Office, Laura Sheffert. Let's thank them all with a big round of applause. We will now recognize one outstanding individual who has been selected to receive the Department of Corrections statewide Agency Employee of the Year Award. This is an individual who is known for encompassing the values and characteristics that every person should strive for. A caring and supportive person that puts others' needs ahead of her own. Her contributions to the 2nd District and beyond have positively impacted the lives of her clients and all the people she works with. Please join me in congratulating Tanette Carlson from the 2nd District as this year's Agency Employee of the Year. Next, it is time for our statewide Manager or Supervisor of the Year Award. These individuals were selected based on the following criteria: contribution to the local mission statement and/or agency vision and mission, demonstrating and exemplifying excellence in leadership, effectively managing day-to-day operations and resources. We will now acknowledge each staff member who was recognized locally as a Manager or Supervisor of the Year. Please stand. 2nd District, Murphy Washington. 3rd District, Trevor Riesdahl. 4th District, Dan Newby. 5th District, Corey Disterhoff. 6th District, Laney Smith. 8th District, Chuck Sievers. Anamosa State Penitentiary, Anthony Dawson. Florinda Correctional Facility, Greg Graham. Fort Dodge Correctional Facility, Chris Sturenberg. Iowa Correctional Institution for Women, Ryan Olson. Iowa Medical and Classification Center, Brandon Wenner. Iowa State Penitentiary, Chad Peck. Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility, Mike Shepard. Newton Correctional Facility, Demetrius Bowens. North Central Correctional Facility, Josh McNeil. Central Office, Katrina Carter. Let's give them all a round of applause. We will now recognize the individual who has been selected for the statewide manager or supervisor of the year. This person is an individual who embodies the values of empathy, respect, and integrity while providing endless support to their staff. He is someone who can always be trusted and is respected throughout the state. He is a transformational leader who does so much for the Newton Correctional Facility. He is motivational, inspirational, and always willing to help others achieve their goals. Every day he demonstrates what it means to be a great leader and a great supervisor. Please join me in congratulating Demetrius Bowens from the Newton Correctional Facility as our Manager of the Year.
Okay, our final award of the afternoon is the Team Excellence Award. This award is presented to a team that represents a collective effort of DOC employees that have accomplished a goal consistent with the agency's vision and mission and/or for improvements in the quality of life for the citizens of Iowa. The nominees for the Team Excellence Award are, from the 2nd District, Solution-Focused Brief Therapy Trainers. From the 3rd District, IDAP. From the 4th District, Residential Facility Staff. From the 5th District, the Command Center ROs. From the 6th District, the Anchor Center for Women PPOs. From the 8th District, the Admin Team. From the Anamotha State Penitentiary, their STGIO team. From Clarinda Correctional Facility, their team of counselors. From Fort Dodge Correctional Facility and North Central Correctional Facility, their CNT team. From the Iowa Correctional Institute for Women, their Health and Rec Committee. The Iowa Medical and Classification Center, Central Records. From the Iowa State Penitentiary, Escape Response Team. From the Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility, Feed My Starving Children. From the Newton Correctional Facility, DOM IT. From the North Central Correctional Facility, the team of counselors. And from Central Office, Victim Services. We are proud to present this year's Team Excellence Award to the Mount Pleasant Correctional Facilities team for their Feed My Starving Children event. After much planning, this combined team of MPCF staff and incarcerated individuals completed a tremendous outside-the-box event. This team, which included 16 staff and 480 plus incarcerated individuals, worked over 2 days to pack bags full of food, which provided 108,864 meals, feeding 298 starving children for a year. As you can see, all the names are on the screen, but the ones that I have present here today are Dina Pranito, Haley Cowan, Ryan Slemmer, Joe Pranito, Terry Zmolik, and Natalie Babcock. Please join me in congratulating them on the
Thank you.
As we prepare to formally bring this celebration to a close, we want to thank you for attending our ceremony today, and congratulations to all those honored, those who were present and those who could not be here, but whose names were on the screen. And thank you to the staff who were able to join the live stream. We appreciate you staying back at the institution or district to keep things running smoothly while allowing your fellow staff members to attend.
We most certainly do appreciate them, Marcy. And today is a great chance for us all to remember that the success of our mission, 100%, depends on each and every one of us in this room and the 3,500 or so employees in the Iowa Department of Corrections. So as we reflect on this terrific day, please take with you these 3 affirmations. First, as a member of the Iowa Department of Corrections, you make a difference. Secondly, we, all of us together, we create safer communities. And finally, and maybe most importantly, the citizens of the great state of Iowa, like the family members we have here today, truly depend upon us. Never forget that. Our jobs are important. So on behalf of the leadership of the Iowa Department of Corrections, we appreciate you all for being here today. After the retirement of the colors, we welcome our awardees to come up to the stage for a formal picture with Director Skinner. We would also like to get a group picture of all of our award recipients together, so please do not rush off. We also invite everyone to stick around to enjoy some refreshments, take photos, and congratulate those who received an award. Once again, thank you for attending our recognition ceremony, and congratulations to all those who are honored here today. Please stand for the retirement of the colors, which will conclude our program.
Okay. Up. Ready. Place. Present. On. Order. On. Retrieve. Go. Ready. Ready? Let's forward. Huh.
That will conclude our program. Thank you.